Well, the theory surprises me. I haven't fully appreciated it. It's a way of talking without using words. It's a way of expressing relationships without depending on the treacherous use of language. Now, I'm not saying that language isn't the way to convey meaning, but you get mixed up when you're trying to analyze something if you depend on words solely. And the universality of the theory is such that it doesn't matter what subject you're talking about. It's the same clarification that comes through. For instance, the difference between mind and matter, or between thought and feeling, or psyche as soul and psyche as mental. All of these are confusions of words. You might have, for instance, the problem of I'm thinking of an object. Well then, as soon as you try to talk about it, you separate the object from the thought of the object. You say the thought is a representation of the object. But this is a confusion already, because how do we know they're two things? What the theory does is to provide a procedure by which we make, shall we say, for the purpose of the argument, a diagram. Now this is what science does. It sets up what it calls coordinates. And space is essentially a way of coordinating. That means measuring together. And you separate things by their spatial relation. Without space, you wouldn't be able to do that. Now, to just recognize that every time you make a relationship statement, you're invoking space, is to get a definition of space that's more fundamental than space itself. More fundamental than the physical space we suppose to be out there, but there really isn't anything out there in that sense. We are putting it out there in order to compare things. Now, that is not the only aspect to which we can use talking about things. There is the value aspect, and which is totally different from the relationship between the things, because the value aspect concerns your relation to the things. Now, once you can recognize that, you can say, well, are there any more? And that's where the theory helps, because it says exactly how many more there are and what they are in relation to the ones I've already mentioned.